everybody, it's Kenzie. I'm going to be showing you guys some of the options for people who do not have an Adobe subscription and can still have really great edits. So this is the Lightroom app, which you don't need a subscription for. And I'm going to be focusing on creating presets, which everyone is selling on Instagram now. So I have here a picture of my friend Mia, and I am going to start with going to the light button. And here we have your exposure, contrast, things you will see on your regular iPhone app. But if you go to the top right, we will see curve. Here we have lines where we will fine tune the highlights and shadows and be able to make that really harsh fade that everyone's loving. So we have our specific lines here that are our tones, like our red, green, blue. This will make it a cooler or warmer. This is almost just like a white balance if you're familiar with that. So I don't use those as much, but I always recommend playing around, seeing what you like, looking at photos that you like from other people and saying, okay, what can I do to kind of make that similar? Then all the way on the right, we have our luminescence. And so this is another place you would just play around and move up and down with your highlights and say, oh, I really want like heavy contrast. This is a place to move. So that is an option for that. But what I will be focusing on is to the left, we have all colors. So here is where I would make our harsh fade. So what you would do is you can touch this line and make little white dots, which are like anchors. This means that when you move that, the top one will stay. Then specifically, this will help making our harsh fade. So you would take the bottom left one, which is our darks, and pull it up. See how we're getting that fade that everyone loves. And let's say I just wanted it there. Maybe I wanted like a little bit darker. Let's say I wanted it there. I could do a little bit more highlight by pulling this up. And ta-da, you just play around. But what this does is, see that little gap is taking out all these darks, basically cutting them off so that we have this nice even fade. Okay, we'll press done. Another thing that I see often with these presets is a very muted colors. So how we do that is not going straight to the saturation. We're not wanting to take away the colors. We're wanting to mute them. What I like to use is vibrance. This is what I will always do before I start doing a saturation, whether I want to up or lower it, is I want to go to the vibrance for here, and I just want to pull it down. So now we're getting that muted coloring that everyone loves, and you can, however much you like to do it. I think people like to do this. I've done this with album covers, single covers, where they're like, I have this black and white theme, but I have this color photo, so I don't want it to be black and white, but kind of. And so this kind of gives you that look of black and white, but with a little bit of like a deep green in it. So a lot of people are really into this. You can decide how much you want to do it. Okay, so we've done that, and we want to save this to put on other photos, which are presets. So we would go up to the right, click on that, and hit Create Preset. So here it is. You would click on the things that you edited. Since we didn't edit any of these optics geometry, you can play with those. You probably won't need them. So I would just leave how it is, and it'll save all of these aspects that you edited. Then you would create a preset name. I'll call this Fade 2, since I already have a Fade 1, and I'll click the check mark. So it says Fade 2 is added under User Presets. So we would swipe over to the right and see a preset button. Click the preset button, and you'll see all these presets I have. I have like a Beach Babe one. I have another one and fit in 2 fade ones. You can make as many as you want. So let's say I want to take the one I just made, obviously, and put this on a new photo. So I would go to this one from the same shoot, and I would go and click the preset button, and I would click Fade 2. And that would put the same one we just made on this new picture. And then you could put those on every picture you have if you're wanting this to be like your brand for Instagram now. Put on any selfie, any shoot. But the light will always be a little different, so you're going to have to go back in to your curves and kind of change your highlights if it's a brighter day for a photo or whatnot. So make sure you always change that. Then once you're done with your photo, you would go and hit Export to Camera Roll, and it's successfully exported. So that is how you make a preset. I would just play around with all of the things, and then you can find what you really like and keep it. Then also, if you have an Adobe account, you can send these to your computer for your Lightroom. You can move them around if you want to do more on your computer. You can connect the app to your subscription, and so that's a nice joint way to start something on your phone, maybe finish it later on the computer. But that is just my tips for creating a preset, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will do more for you later. Thanks!